my name is TK Byron from A Girl's Essence, and you have come across Inspire Pyjama Talks, People That Raise My Benchmark. Today's guest joins me all the way in her pajamas from Texas, USA. I first stumbled across Ashley in early 2013 and have admittedly been stalking her on Twitter, Facebook, every other form of device possible, plus her blogs ever since. What I love about her is she has such a heart for helping young people, and young women in particular, I should actually clarify, and she rocks at what she does.
Yes, I get so many questions like this on my blog, and it's not the advice that people want to hear, but I tell people just to pick something. Like whatever you think you might enjoy, just try it. Like you have to start somewhere. So when I graduated high school, I had no idea. I thought I would enjoy teaching, but I was encouraged not to do that. So I actually did not choose for about a year and a half in college, which I think is university, the equivalent. So you're not required to choose for a couple of years. So I didn't. I have dogs barking, if you can hear that. So I actually didn't choose. I was one of those people who was confused and I don't know what I want to do with my life. I'm only 19 years old. How am I supposed to know? And so finally I just chose, and I was going to be a child life specialist, even though I had never done it before. I had never met anyone who had done it. So I just picked something and went with it. And after a year and a half, I realized that's not what I wanted. But you have to take that first step in order to figure out if that's right for you or not. And I mean, it's okay if you make many other steps along the way. It's taken me 4 steps to get here, and it's not where I started at all. But they all build upon each other, so it's fine. So I'm very much about how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm very in tune with my body. That sounds weird, but it's true. That's kind of how I make decisions, and how I know if my stomach feels nervous or queasy, then I'm okay, this is not a good fit. In my old job, at the beginning, I was really excited about it as a counselor, and I was okay, this is it, it's going to be awesome. But then I started noticing I would come home and I would be so stressed out, my shoulders would be tense, and I would dread going to work the next day. And so that's kind of the clue that this is not right for you. And so once I kind of made the transition to being a coach full time, I realized Monday mornings on Twitter or Facebook or wherever, everybody's complaining oh, Monday, you suck. And I'm I did not feel that way. I'm fine getting up and doing my work. It's exciting for me, and it's something I enjoy. So that's kind of a way to tell that, this is good for me right now.
Yeah.
This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. So I think the biggest one is living on your own terms. Which what I mean by that is figuring out as you're growing up, as you're a teenager and younger, who you really are, what you really want, and then taking the steps to make that happen. But so many of us don't do that as we're growing up, right? We just do what our parents think, or we follow what our friends say we should do, or even what our teachers or professors, right? And a lot of times it's because we're scared. We have no idea what we really want, so we just do what people say or what society tells us. And so many of my clients, especially in their 20s, they're okay, I took all these steps that everybody said I should take, and I'm miserable right now, right? I have this job that I hate, and I don't know what else to do, and I feel stuck, and I'm just so unhappy and unfulfilled. So that's the biggest problem that I see, that it could be so much different if they had taken that time when they were younger to figure out what they actually wanted, rather than just doing things because they're supposed to, or because somebody else told them to, or that's what they've always done. But doing that soul searching to figure out what you really want. Okay, so I recommend journaling a lot, but I know some people don't like that. So for me, it was actually writing blog posts. So I'm not a big hand journaler, but I love typing blog posts. So that is a really good tip. And if you're not a big writer, you can also do it on an audio recorder, or on your phone, just recording things. Getting those thoughts out on a consistent basis can do wonders for you. I have a few questions that I like to give people to help with the soul searching. You want me to share them?
If you don't mind.
Yeah. Okay, so one that I love asking people is, what makes you feel most alive? Because I think so many times we don't even take the time to figure that out for ourselves, right? So for me, I love hot drinks, like hot tea and hot coffee. I love Christmas time. Like, that's one of my favorite seasons. It makes me so excited. I love running. I love talking to people and hearing their stories. So those are a few things for me that make me feel most alive. But I think when I was like 16 and 17, I had no idea. I was like, I like hanging out with friends, which, yeah, everybody does, right?
Yeah.
But what's specific about you? What things do you like that make you feel most alive? So that's a good one to start with. You know, what gives you that feeling of like you're lit up and like you're in the zone, if you want to say it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good one for starting to figure out like who you are and doing that soul searching. Another one that's a little bit deeper that I like to explore with people is, if you only had 30 seconds to speak and the entire world was listening, what would you want to say? Yeah.
Goosebumps.
So, yeah, it's a big question. Like, I'm not even sure what I would answer to that. But
that was my next question. I'm like, so a bit of guidance on that question.
Yeah, but it can be anything. Like, what do you want people to know? What do you want people to change? What do you want people to remember about you? Like, it could be anything. But if you can come up with an answer to that question, it gives you a really big clue about what's important to you and kind of what you stand for. So that's a good one.
That question.
Yeah. There's a few others. I'll just go through them really quickly. So like, what do you not want to be part of your life? So that's a good one for figuring out like what you really want versus what other people are telling you should want. Another good one is, what do you love to do so much that you would do it for free? So for me, that's coaching people, right? Like, I just love it. I would do it for free. I have done it for free. I gave away 100 free calls when I was starting out. Like, but if you can find something that you love so much, then that's a good signal of what you should figure out how to make money doing that and have that be your job, right? So, and one last question is, if you were guaranteed that you would not fail, what would you do? Because so much fear holds us back, right? So it's hard to kind of overcome that, but if you can at least pinpoint what that thing is that you would really, really want to do, you're just scared, that's a good start.
Yeah, we got the fire, and we're gonna let it burn, 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 burn. We're gonna let it burn,